Hello guys, welcome to my channel for game reviews. Those who are familiar with Hammerfeet will probably remember that co-shutting is able to make an interesting plot literally out of nothing, without overwhelming the player with tons of dialogues and descriptions, but using more subtle techniques and gradually drawing an incomparable picture of the world. This is also true for Hifleet. No one chews on the subtleties of the plot and setting, our character simply lives in it, and does not observe from the side, hence, probably, such an immersive effect. A fleet of huge airships powered by rocket engines held the Saridi dynasty to lead to the power of the Romani Empire, which for several centuries remains one of the strongest states in this world. She also has enemies, both external and internal. Right, just yesterday, a kingdom within the empire, and today it is a rebellious republic, entered into a conspiracy with Romani's longtime opponents. A new war began, in which fortune turned away from the imperial forces. The main troops of Romani are defeated, hope remains only for a small expeditionary fleet sent on a raid on the capital of Red, Kiev. The fleet is controlled by Crown Prince Mark Saridi, the main character of the game. He was tasked with reaching the heart of the rebellion at any cost and destroying the rebels. The author does not hide that the Romani Empire is almost a complete copy of the Russian Empire at the end of its power. A large role is assigned to religion, the characters bear Russian names, and the focus is on the noble nobility serving in the army and navy. On the other hand, Red is a similar tracing paper from the Middle East of the same epoch, as the architecture of cities and their population speaks of. Warriors in turbans, wearing scimitars, live in stone towers and adobe huts, are more often guided by their own convictions than by the army chain of command. Add here a fantastic component in the form of huge flying ships powered by methane fuel, armed not only with large caliber cannons, missiles and aircraft, but also with nuclear weapons. We get a very lively mixture of dieselpunk and the era of the Great Game, the confrontation between Russia and Britain for dominance in South Asia at the turn of the 19th-20th centuries. We look at the map here, you probably ask, where did I get this from? It is not Russian aristocrats who are fighting to preserve the power of the throne, but Silent Hunter mixed with CMANO. A map with a bunch of icons, a ruler with a compass for marking, some kind of radar, walkie-talkies. How to play this in general? I will answer right away. Overcoming. There is a tutorial prologue, but you still have to look at the 100-page manual from time to time, like in the good old days. The gameplay on the global map is a well-designed simulator of an airfleet admiral. The word realistic in the context of what is happening in Hifleet sounds strange, but it most accurately describes the main gameplay. Information about what is happening outside the very narrow radius of the squadron's visual view has to be obtained in the same ways that would be used in reality. Radar readings, radio intercepts, reconnaissance reports and one's own guesses about what is happening. Before each battle, you need to choose the order in which the ships will enter the arena. This is perhaps the main problem of battles in Hifleet. The player can control only one ship at a time, and the computer controls several at once. In the early stages of the campaign, you have to fight against 2 to 3 opponents, but soon their number increases. Because of this, your ship, sent into battle first, can be destroyed after a couple of seconds. At the same time, it is also unprofitable to often change ships in battle. The more time the crew spends in the arena and the more damage it deals, the more experience points it gets. With a new level, you can increase the maneuverability of the ship or the speed of loading the guns, which greatly affects the combat effectiveness. The chance of getting serious damage is also increased, so you have to choose between risky and safer combat tactics. It's hard both in training and in battle, but the difficulty curve in Hifleet cannot be praised. A new campaign can be started with a prologue, in which they show the plot of the plot and teach the main mechanics. In general, it introduces well to the main gameplay loop, but as soon as you're allowed on the global map, a dozen more additional fleet controls are revealed. You don't even have time to familiarize yourself with these mechanics, as the game throws you into a new gameplay situation. Because of this, the first few hours at Hifleet are extremely frustrating. The race may end after a couple of missions, and it is not always obvious if you made a mistake yourself or if the game increased the difficulty too quickly. I confess that Hifleet was the first in a long time to make me commit a rage quit, and more than once. Bugs are also frustrating. They are rare, but can still complicate the passage. The alarm is sometimes raised, even if you manage to send a strike group, and ships sometimes disappear from the list of available ones, as if they were destroyed in battle.